really going to do you much good. Okay, so that, if we click on our pick tool, now I'm going to click in the white space to deselect my object. And we've pretty much gone through the main parts up here in the property bar. And we know this is the pasteboard area and this is the working document. Now we're ready to talk a little bit about the toolbar, and then we're going to talk about the color and the color palette. But right now I'm going to click on this object, hit delete on the keyboard, and that is your property bar. Okay, now we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about the toolbars of Corel Draw. Now, the one tool that we're going to go back and forth with the most is this tool right here. You'll see the little menu fly out, and it says that this is the pick tool. Okay, and just real quick, I'm going to run down them. Pick tool, you have the shape or fill tool, the shape tool. And right next to it, you'll notice that it says F10, which is the shortcut. It will show you the shortcuts on here. Of course, that will be included in the cheat sheet that comes with Corel training video here. Next is the zoom tool. We have the freehand tool, the rectangle tool, the ellipse tool, polygon, star shapes, text tool, interactive blend tool, eyedropper, outline, fill, and interactive fill tool. Now, if this is what you have on your tools, then we're just going to run with it. But if you don't see the exact same tools, again, I'm going to show you that the little black triangle here in the bottom right hand corner, if you left click and hold that, you're going to get a little flyout. So again, if you saw some of the tools look a little different on your version than what we have here on the screen, then you, as we go down the list, you can just click, hold, get the flyout, select the proper tool, and then we'll just go ahead with that. So right now, what we're going to do is we've already done the pick tool. We left click and hold down this. Now we can't really use any of these until we have some objects in our design over here. So we want to go ahead and create some objects, and so we can start using some of these tools. So that's why we had to kind of fast forward to some of the shapes. Okay, so we're going to come back to these tools. Right now I'm going to draw a rectangle tool, or create something with the rectangle tool. Now that's fine. Now after I draw it, I have to go back to the pick tool, or what another shortcut you can use is you can press the space bar on your keyboard. Now watch my tool right here change. Now see, I just changed back to my pick tool without coming over and clicking on it. Now let's do that one more time. Click on the ellipse tool, the rectangle tool. Now all I'm doing is pressing the space bar. Now that's a shortcut way of going. Corel will remember when you use the last tool and what it was, and 9 times out of 10 that will be the pick tool. So when you want to go back a tool, you can use just the space bar. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a color over here. I'm going to left click. Okay. So now when I come over here and select the shape tool, for example, we've already talked about with the shape tool how you can round off the edges, but that's pretty much all you can do with the shape tool on a stock object in Corel, like circles and rectangles and squares and so on. That's what I consider a stock shape object in Corel Draw. Anything that's already predetermined, you just determine what the size of it is. So the only way to edit this image further is to convert it to curves. Now I won't go through that again, but we talked about that earlier in the video. Now if I left click and hold, you'll see there's another tool in here called the knife tool. There's the eraser tool, smudge brush. Now some of these tools aren't very, you probably wouldn't use them on a day-to-day basis. Roughen brush, and then free transform. The only tool you'll probably use out of this other batch aside from the shape tool is the eraser tool. And for time purposes on this video, we're going to jump ahead to the eraser tool. And you can see I can come in here and do something like this. And now it's all one object. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit, remember up here at the top, we've got undo, undo. I can also hit Control Z on the keyboard. Now another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to jump ahead to the zoom tool, if I click on this and hold it, of course I get a little hand tool in addition to the zoom tool. Now the hand is kind of like a little pan tool. Now you notice that when I click on it and drag it around like this, that it seems to move around. But it's not really the object that's moving, it's more like the camera, okay, that's moving around, the camera view. So if I left click on the hand tool again and hold it down, I can click on the zoom tool. Now remember how we did the marquee select earlier? I'm going to kind of do the same thing but with the zoom tool. Now if there's a part of this object I want to zoom in on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click and hold it and drag it down. So then when I let go, it's going to zoom in on the area that I've selected with the box. And I can keep going until eventually it says, hey, you've gone too far. Now by right clicking on the with the zoom tool, it'll zoom out.